I was going to ask this question. Let me shift gears to the environment for just a second and ask, don't you think we're at a point where we would ask, and maybe we should lobby on this show for $1 billion or $10 billion prize for the next energy breakthrough in this country? Like, don't you think that Joe should and the Democrats should put some incentives out there for our great scientists and our great minds to solve some of these problems that we have before us?
I mean, I've always said that they need to invest more into figuring out how to get rid of the greenhouse gases that are already in there versus, and at the same time slow them down, but be able to get rid of them and slow them down. There has to be a way to fly something, clean up the air. There, we just don't invest in it. And because there's no money in it, what would be the money? The thing is, someone would say, I know the argument would be, well, if that was a thing, they would already do it. But we know that's not the case. Just like with this vaccine, usually takes 10 years. They got it under a year. It's all about funding. There's no money to really be made by scientists spending billions of dollars trying to figure out how to get rid of greenhouse gases. Because how would they make that money? Who would be paying them? You see what I'm saying? It's not like we, the citizens, would be paying this company to clean up the air. It's not a thing. It's something that has to be almost like a government-run thing where we're just paying that company to fly planes or whatever and clean up the air. I really think that they could figure out how to get rid or clean up the air as we slow down greenhouse gases. And in fact, that could be, it's a much better solution for both sides, Republican and Democrat, if they can do it. And I've heard scientists say that it's possible. I've also heard scientists say that you can essentially, with enough research, you can control the weather if you wanted to.
Well, it's a little bit of, a different angle, but I've been thinking about this. Just when we talk about clean energy, Biden's plan to create jobs, to build back better and create jobs. Part of the injustice in our country is that so many people of color live next to unclean energy sources. And when we start addressing clean energy on a nationwide scale, it will completely change the dynamic that a lot of people live under who have never had a choice to live in a healthier, cleaner, safer, more stable environment.
From what it looks like too, they're moving first on water issues, which specifically deal a lot of times with where communities of color are next to or are getting their water from, as we saw in Flint, but it's happened in a lot of other places that they're not engaging with.
Well, and I think historically, if you want to upset any population, mess with their water.
Right.
There's first. Nothing that upsets people more than the sense that you have cut off their supply to clean water.
Water is life, dude.
Water is life. Don't waste it.
That's what's
and don't
up.
Mess with it. That's what's up. When we clean up the water, when we clean up the air, when we start focusing on training people to contribute to cleaner energy and also empower people to get out of disempowered communities, and we start addressing the
Sorry,
food...
Jance, I'm going to put this in front of you. Keep going.
We start addressing the food inequity in our country and how hunger is such a huge issue, then we will start to see real progress, in our politics and in our economy and in our society and our religion. I mean, I'm serious. That's what's up. Clean air, clean water, and access to food will seriously change our country.
That's economic change. What do you want to give people a chance? What are you talking about? Are you a socialist?
Yeah, and I think that they should attack the water thing just by, they could probably run a report throughout the whole country and go, our water everywhere is not good. I mean, who wouldn't agree that how much of bottled water do we drink? We do that on purpose because have you tasted tap water? I mean, it's definitely different. So I think it's an easy sell for people to go, hey, we got to fix the water. And that's That shouldn't even. That's bipartisan.
This
And
is
part
what I'm
of-
saying. Zach
yeah.
says it right here. I'm going to put this back up here. You want to beat China, he says? Beat him with green energy. Don't let the CCP
Too late.
beat us.
You already screwed that up, though, because the Trump administration took the one thing, as right now in this country, that we had. We in the United States make the best batteries. No one makes better batteries than us. Tesla makes the best, most, and no one's close to Tesla's batteries. And we allowed Tesla to go to China and make batteries in China. That is the biggest loss of our piece that we could have sold the entire world we can ever have. It's like losing. Imagine if when Ford came out with Ford and we said, oh, that's a really neat car. Now let's send it off to China and have them make them all the time. How much prosperity we would have lost if we didn't have the car industry in the very beginning of the United States. We just lost that. We had batteries.
You're saying we lost the battery.
We lost the
battery
battery
war.
There's no one that makes better batteries than Tesla. Period. It's not even close. There's not a second company. There's not a third company. It's Tesla. He makes the best batteries, and we allowed him to take his product, bring it to China, and show him how to make the batteries. Now, he's going to say, oh, I signed a whole bunch of contract. Baloney. You know what they're going to do. In 1 year, there's going to be a Chinese version of a Tesla with the same freaking battery. It's going to run 1 million miles without any loss. And we lost that product instead of making in the United States and selling it around the world as an everything. And those batteries are changed for everything because that's clean. That's how you do clean energy. You can put those batteries on houses. You can put those batteries on everything, generators, everything you can put those batteries on because they're not as expensive to make. And now with this 1 million mile battery, I'm sure everybody's heard about it. Basically, they figured out how to make a battery that does not die. It can last and last and last and last. And we gave that away instead of making $100,000 jobs for our future away.